Morning. Morning. Good to see you here today. Appreciate the song service. I think you wanted to think more of heaven. I think the Lord wants us to always think about heaven. As we stop and think about the lesson this morning, I think it's imperative that we stop and think about one verse these verses we've been looking at in chapter 3 of Philippians. Turn back over there with me. I think when I had the great opportunity to come and work here, not do all the work for you, but to help you with the work that's going on. One thing that I thought was very important is to stop and think about where we were and where God wants us to be. And I think these verses that we look at, verses 12 and 14, not that I have already attained or am already perfected, but I press on, that I may lay hold of that which Christ Jesus has also laid hold of me. Brethren, I do not count myself to have apprehended, but one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forward to those things that are ahead, I press toward the goal for the prize of the upward call of God in Christ Jesus. Hopefully that's everybody's desire. To go to heaven, to be there, to realize the importance of the brotherhood. One thing I think about is how important it is the church needs to forget about things that are behind it. I think so many times we just like bringing stuff back up again. I think we need to be encouraging, uplifting, realize the importance of what He wants us to do. And sometimes we're going to mess up, but we can always get better again. And I think He's trying to say, Gary, just forget those things that are behind. I think we need, as a congregation, need to think of things that we just need to forget. That we cannot think and keep bringing things up that have hindered us from doing His will, but that we might do more for Him. And I think that's something we need to stop and think about. We've talked about challenges that we must accept in this life that we live. We talk about enemies we must defeat, dangers we must avoid, and opportunities that we need to take, as we talked about last week. I think that this morning's lesson is probably one that is probably just as important, if not more important, than any of those. And the reason I say that is a lot of times we are known by our attitudes. People that have bad attitudes, we always hear positive or negative attitudes. And I think it's important as we stop to think about these attitudes, what does that attitude really mean? If you were to look at a definition, as we always look at definitions on what might help us to understand what an attitude is, a person's tendency to respond favorably or unfavorably to an object, a person, a group, or an event. So I look at that and realize, well, if that's true, there is a positive and a negative. We need to be reminded of that. I think all of us love to be around positive people, don't we? And remember, that's a question you can check your head. Yeah, I think we just love being around positive people. I do not like being around negative people. Oh man, I don't know why you did that. I just don't like that. And so I like being around positive people. And I like seeing Christians in the assembly as we stop and think about, we got to listen to that preacher again, and at least put a smile on your face. Because it is great to be here this morning. To sit down for a few moments and not have to worry about anything in the world, just focus your mind on Jesus, what He did for us, and how great it is to be a member of the body of Christ. That makes sense, doesn't it? Positive attitude that we need to have. And so we look at that and we think, or if you stop to think about attitude, it's how we think, and how we are, how we live our life. And so attitude is something that is very important that we need to stop and think about here this morning. What is our attitude? And it comes in a whole lot of different ways. You know, you stop and think about attitude, you could be described by a lot of people by your attitude. And I look at that, how can I understand what your attitude is? Well, by what your face looks like. I'm not talking ugly or good looking. I'm talking what's your attitude? Do you have the attitude of, man, it's great to be here. I love being around the brother. Or around each other's home. You know the idea? I mean, I think anybody that believes in attitudes at all realizes that people show their attitude by how they look at things, how they look to me. The importance of that as well. And even, what about the tone of voice that we use? Oh yeah, it's wonderful to be here this morning, folks. I didn't love it. I appreciate it. Is that a positive attitude? Do people really like that? Let me ask you this, is a brother like that? Sometimes. Sometimes you walk through the door and there's somebody else, oh, wait, man, get over here. Get away from them. So we look at that and we realize in our behavior or lack of it, in what we do or we don't do. And if we're asked to do something, do we make excuses why we can't? Attitude. In the way we perform different things that we're given to do. Are we one that says they will do it and then not do it at all? Is it the attitude that we have? So let's stop and think about attitude. And I hope and pray that we will see a little more about how important it is that we show people who we are. Christians, the body of Christ. That when they come into the assembly, when they see Gary in the world as he leads this, what kind of attitude am I showing them in the life that I live for him? And I think sometimes we really forget that. We realize how important it is that we do his will. I think if we want the church to grow, we do need to forget those things that are behind us. Quit turning around and thinking about them all the time. Just stay focused on where we want to go. Stay focused on, as we sang about, heaven. I was thankful he led those songs because now I can add it to a little bit of my lesson. And how important it is that we continue to think about heaven, and I want you to go with me. And the only way that you can go with me is have the same attitude in the life that I live to follow Jesus and do his will. It makes sense. And so I look at these things and realize, what am I willing to sacrifice? If I look at my attitude, what am I willing to sacrifice? What am I going to do? If the work's hard, am I still going to do it, or I say, give it to somebody else? Attitude. If you were to look at the English word attitude, what does the Bible say about attitudes? And I think we can all see the Bible talks about it as being a mind, confidence, or of the heart. And I thought of that and realized I've had a lot of friends, I've had a lot of people, and even members of the body of Christ that walk through the door. You shake their hand. Isn't it a great day? Oh, not really. Let me tell you about something. The attitude in which we live. I love to be one that shakes people's hands and smiles a little bit and might joke with them a little bit and try to change their what? Their attitude. Sometimes we need, as they say, an attitude adjustment. And I think the Lord is trying to tell us that it's very important to Him and it needs to be important to us. Attitude. Turn over to the book of Psalms. Chapter 119. Starting at verse 97. Oh, how I love your law. It is my meditation all the day. You do your commandments make me wiser than my enemies, for they are ever with me. I have more understanding than all my teachers, for your testimonies are my meditation. I understand more than the ancients, because I keep your precepts. I have restrained my feet from every evil way, that I may keep your word. I have not departed from your judgments, for you yourself have taught me how sweet are your words to my taste, sweeter than honey in my mouth. Though your precepts, or through your precepts, I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Attitude. Do you think we have the right attitude? You know, look at that attitude. If you're just talking about attitudes, that's what I want to have. I don't think of my ways, I think of His ways. I realize that His word is a light to the path that I am to walk in. The attitude that I am to have. That I might be the Christian that He wants me to be. And that as we sit here today, we stop and think about all the things we looked at for the past few weeks and realize that attitude has a lot to do with all of it. The attitude in which we need to live in the world today. We will never bring anyone to Christ with a bad attitude. A bad attitude. We need to be reminded of that as we strive to do His will. Turn back over to Philippians. Philippians chapter 2. Starting in verse 5. It says, let this mind be in you, which also was in Christ Jesus, who being in the form of God did not consider it robbery to be equal with God, but made himself of no reputation, taking on the form of a bondservant. And coming in the likeness of men, he became, and being found in appearance as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient to the point of death, and even the death of the cross. I can't help but think that I live the Christian life and look at Jesus as my example, and I need to walk in His steps. I need to have that kind of attitude. Lord, here am I. Just send me. Use me the way that you want to, instead of what I want. The attitude that I need to have in being obedient to the Lord. So many times, I think it's important that God's Word recognizes the importance of an attitude. I can't help but think about Jesus and the attitude that He had, in that He was willing to come to this earth for you. I want to tell you something. I know a lot of people. I don't know if I can have that attitude with all of them. But He did. And He being my example, sometimes I need to forget those things that are behind me. Start looking ahead at those things that are ahead of me. And think it's so easy to get caught up on the attitude of just being maybe hateful in certain times. I think Rick and I were talking the other day, and we were talking about Christians looking a lot like they're sucking on a dill pickle or a lemon. You know, when you stop and think about that, my granddaughter loves pickles, and she can make some pretty ugly looking faces. I want to tell you something, brother, and sometimes we do as well. We need to show people how great it is to be a Christian and not moan and groan about why we have to do what we do. And then be faithful to it. Positive attitude toward God. Turn over to Mark. Chapter 12. Verse 30. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. This is the first commandment. Is that an attitude? Is this a good attitude for us? Oh Lord, I love you, but not that much. You see, Lord, I can't forget those things that are behind me. I still like living in the world. I still like doing things that the world entices me with, and I still give in to those things. And so, I know what you're saying. I need to forget those things behind me, but it's awful hard, Lord. I can't do it. But we have to. We need to. And your want to has to want to. So we strive to be obedient to the Lord. Sometimes we forget. It'll make a difference on how important and how interested we are with God. God is my friend. I think all of us have friends that we love being around. Don't you? If you don't, I hope you get one. But we do. We like to have friends that we enjoy doing things with. And we look at things and realize I like being around people. I told you that. I try to get people to be happy whether they're miserable or not. Whether they make me miserable or not, I try to influence people with the right attitude. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. But the idea is we still need to do it. We still need to be obedient. Because it will make a difference in the life that we live and the life that others live as well. As I stop and think about attitude, I think it has a lot to do with spiritual growth. Growing spiritually. Doing the will of God. Striving to do what He asks me to do. I think we need to have a positive attitude about the Lord's church. A positive attitude about the people that are in it. Sometimes that's hard. I don't care how hard it is. We still have to have it. And we need to be reminded of it. I think we need to promote the church. I think we need to talk it up. I think we need to let people know about the church. And we need to do it in a loving way and show that great attitude about who we are and what He's done for us. That makes sense. Attitude. I'm going to say some things that you're all not going to like, and that's okay, because if you don't like it, I guess you have a bad attitude. But there's a verse that people just don't like. It's found over in Hebrews chapter 10, verse 25. And not forsaking the assembly is a matter of some, but exhorting one another, and so much more as you see the day approaching. And I look at that and I realize our assemblies that the Lord wants us to have, and that we are striving to continue to have the right attitude, is it important that we be a part of that gathering as the body of Christ? And I know you've heard this over and over and over, but what about attitude? What kind of attitude do you have? That's all I have to say about it, because I don't know. But you look at that and realize attitude means a whole lot. And we look at that, we need to start bringing visitors to the body of Christ. All of us know people. All of us can invite. We can't drag them here, but keep inviting them. I think a lot of times we want to look back in the past when we haven't, maybe we've invited people that never came, so we just quit. But we need to look ahead. We need to stop and think about how important that is. Because when we're together participating in our worship in any assembly of the Lord's church, that's positive. Isn't it? Sure it is. We need to be reminded of that positive attitude. You think a positive attitude is something we need to bring others to Christ? Bring others to Christ? I think so. I want to be positive. I want people to be obedient to the gospel. I want people to be a member of the body of Christ. I want the Lord to add them to His church. I want a new brother and a new sister in Christ that I can encourage, that I can uplift, that I can continue to teach the gospel to. Look at that. Positive. Over in Romans chapter 8, verse 28. Positive attitude. If we know that all things work together for good to those who love God and those who are called according to His purpose. Positive attitude. I told you I had a good friend of mine that really got me in preaching. Jim would call me every week when I started working for the Lord full time, and he'd call and say, "Gary, how's it going?" And I would be like a lot of you people and me, and I'd say, "It's not going good, Jim." "What in the world's wrong with you, Gary?" "What do you mean it's not going good? I'm just what I told you." He says, "I want you to read Romans chapter 8, verse 20, and what in the world for? Because you need to have a positive attitude." And I thought about that, and I realized, that verse there needs to be hanging on the refrigerator as well. We need to have a positive attitude. Well, look at that. Think what He wants us to do. The difference between overcoming the problems in life or having a positive attitude. The problem that happened in the Lord's church can be solved by having a positive attitude. So I look at that. There's no way in the world, brother, listen, that we can have a positive attitude and be silent about the life that we live for Him. We've got to tell people about it. We've got to be obedient to the Lord. However, more, if there's things that we don't like, if it's biblically right, you better have a positive attitude. That makes sense, doesn't it? Sure. We need to be reminded of that. I want to go to heaven. I want to take everyone here with me. I've got to have a positive attitude in the things that I live, in the way that I live, that I bring others to the Lord as well. And the ultimate goal for us is definitely heaven. Now, I realize one thing. I have to be in Christ to have the hope of heaven. I have to be in Christ. being obedient to His terms of salvation, not mine or anybody else's. I need to hear the Word of God being preached. I need to believe in that Word of God. I need to believe in His Son. I need to believe in God. I need to realize the importance of confessing Him as my Lord and Savior, and repenting of the sins that I have committed my whole life, because when I repent of them, and now that I'm baptized into Christ, all those things are washed away. The sins are gone. And I start living a new life in obedience to God. And that's where your positive attitude has to start. Makes sense? So I guess this morning we're looking at, if you're not a member of the body of Christ, you can by just doing what He asks. And not only that, even those of us who are members of the body of Christ, and we keep going back to the things that we need to get rid of, don't you think it's time to give them up and just start looking ahead and having a positive attitude that I want the church to grow? And for it to grow, it has to start with me first. If there's anyone here this morning, please come forward and come.